Overhand rights team, let's have a look at them, how they're done, best way to throw them. Let's put them together. Let's go. Hey team, welcome back to the Sweet Science. Today we'll have a little look at that overhand right, the body mechanics behind it, what to do, what not to do, what to avoid. Let's have a look. So we've just discussed that it's the same body mechanics. One drill I like to do myself and I like to get our guys to do as well is to literally, you can do this on a normal punch bag. I happen to be using the aqua bag. I like to hold my jab hand out and then I pull that back to my chin as fast as I can. So that's one part of the drill. And as I'm doing that, the shoulder trajectory changes and that hook goes out. But the way we're pulling the body mechanics, it turns into this overhand right. So the drill is to get your hand from the bag to your chin, to your overhand right, and control the bag again immediately. You need to be able to control this punch. Okay, we'll go on to that in a second. So from here, so I've got a good range. And you can work this drill with any of your straight back hands. That could have been a straight back hand, two, but that could have been a long range hook and an overhand from here, just so you can get control of your body mechanics. Remember when you're doing your straight right, that is the end of the chain. Everything else goes, the hand goes last. When you're doing your long range hook, the hand gets released early. The chain starts, comes around early, and with the overhand, the shoulder trajectory changes. It's the same body mechanics, shoulder trajectory changes. How that looks: straight right, long range hook, overhand. When you throw that overhand, you'll notice your thumb is down. It's here, but because my body mechanics, that hand ends up so the thumb is pointing down. It's something you want to look at. So we'll have a look at a few other things as well. So in that last section we spoke about you need to be able to control this punch. You do. So what I mean by that, in the beginning we don't want this overhand doing this here. No need to practice like that at all. That would be, you're going to end up injuring your shoulder as well. Yes, it does happen. You see fighters do it all the time. Chuck Liddell, I do have an MMA background as well. You cannot deny that guy swung that punch, but he knocked out some elite level athletes with that. And he threw it like it was a ball and chain. It would start from down here, he'd be backing out, and he'd literally swing it like that. Work to him. You have to learn to control the punch before you can do that though. So controlling the punch. You want to be practicing pulling it back to your chin. So a great drill I like to do in my shadow boxing when I'm working out is throw a jab, throw that overhand and pull it back to my chin. Jab, overhand. That way I know I've got control of the shot. I'm not going like this. You can see the problem as well. If you telegraph that big overhand, and someone just steps back off of that shot and you're down here, it's not good. So get control of the punch. One way I like to do it is to put an uppercut on the end of the shot because it forces you to bring that body mechanics back up. Here's the overhand and I bring in the lead hand uppercut afterwards. It makes you bring that shot back up again. So a great drill to work on for your shadow boxing would be a jab, overhand, lead hand uppercut. Jab, overhand, lead hand uppercut. And we end up being able to control the punch. Once you can do that, maybe you can start putting a bit of a swing behind it, but I don't recommend that to begin with. So let's look at that on the bag. So it's clearly easier to do it on something like an aqua bag, a maze bag. I will do it on a normal bag in a minute, just to show you that you can work this drill on a normal bag. But we're going to throw a jab, an overhand, followed by that lead hand uppercut. And you'll see that brings me back to my shape and form nicely. So it's a good little drill to work on your bag. I've been a little bit careful with my lead shoulder, that is the damaged side. It's a great little shot to work. So I'll just show you how that works on a normal shaped punch bag as well. So obviously with this bag, there's no ledge to hit an uppercut with, so we've got a couple of options. Throw your jab, throw your overhand, and you can land that uppercut a little bit more to the body, or you could simply miss. You could go jab, overhand, and just pull your uppercut back in. They both look like this, or and just miss. Both will help you get back to your shape and form, so there's no reason if you don't have an aqua bag or a maze bag why you can't practice this on a normal punch bag. Just make sure your thumb is down and your body mechanics are sound, so what you don't want to do is roll your hand on the bag, that hurts. So thumb down, look for the obvious. This happens a lot. That hand comes down here, particularly when you're thinking about throwing the uppercut as well. This sort of thing happens and it's not great. So make sure your lead hand is nicely on your chin, and then you're using your body mechanics to throw the uppercut up from there as well. So adding a little bit more power to that already powerful shot is adding a step to it as well. Now, I'm a firm believer in same hand, same foot strike, except in this case. So the mechanics anyway of the shoulder trajectory change does get your head offline. You've got to imagine that jab's coming down lane 2. I don't want to throw it like this. I'm going to get clipped with a jab. I'm probably not get over the punch anyway. So the mechanics of pulling, see how my head goes offline with that shot as well. There's no reason why you can't just be here. However, I'd like to just take a little up and over step, up and over, so that's that diagonal line. As I'm releasing the hand, don't forget guys, you do not need to load this hand up from down here. Okay, it goes from my chin, I add a little tiny step, just for that extra bit of power as well. I'm not straightening the arm either. I have seen some people like try and straighten the arm when they do it, and hey, if that works for you, that works for you. Me personally, I've done that wrong before and I've hyperextended my arm. I've come out like that, and obviously there's force going through the opposite side of your elbow. That was not pleasant. As I said, it's like a long range hook. That's about the bend I have in my arm. It releases from my chin. I take that little up and over step just to make sure my head is nicely offline. It goes from my chin, and it's the same mechanics as a long range hook, just with that shoulder trajectory change. When you're practicing, do not get that really bad habit of swinging down, up and around. You don't need to. Control the punch first. Once you can control it, maybe you can start playing around with it from there. So we'll just have a look at what extra power that gives you when you take that step on the bag. So previously we had a hand on the bag, good full range, good turn of the shoulder, and I threw the overhand from here. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm going to be slightly further away this time, take that up and over step and deliver that overhand right. It does bring more mass into the equation, and speed times mass equals power. So I want to be just outside the range from here, so I can get a little up and over step. Really nice punch to start to learn. We'll also have a look on the other bag just to see if you do have access to a maze bag or anything that's going to give a bit more swing, how you can work your timing on that as well. Maze bag, without doubt, one of my favourite bags to train on. So how I work this, I'm just working my timing is get the bag moving and try and time that coming back in again. With my overhand, I'm looking to hit just on this ridge from here. So we just get the bag moving. So it's a timing thing. Obviously, if I go too early, I've missed it. If I go too late, you're going to get this happen, which is not comfortable. So I suggest you work it a bit slower to begin with, literally kind of this pace. Just work timing onto it. Remember the shoulder trajectory change. Once you've got a bit of a feel for it, put a bit more movement on the bag. And just start working it from there. What a fantastic punch to land if you get the mechanics right. Control the punch, then you can start playing around with it from there. There we go, overhand rights. The detail is exactly the same if you are a left-hander. Now please take your time with this. I've said in previous videos, I am actually now supposed to be boxing southpaw because of damage in my neck, and I'm not struggling to do an overhand left, but I'm really having to focus on everything I'm doing to make that movement work. It feels unnatural for me to do that. So if you've never thrown an overhand right that way before, please take your time, make sure you don't hurt yourself. As always, be very grateful if you had a like and a subscribe, maybe shared a video. Hope you found the content great. Don't be afraid to look around at different ways to throw the overhand right or left. I've looked at many different ways in my time, but that's the way I've always found most comfortable and had the most success with. So, till next time, train hard, train safe.